Alright, so I've been getting a couple questions about my garage at home here the last little bit. So I thought I'd make a video about how this building came about. When I bought the house, there was just this front part right to that line. The floor was sloped to the back of the garage. There was a drain hole there, and it just sort of went into the dirt behind the garage. So every spring my garage would fill up with water, and you know, my welder and all my stuff would be all in the water, and I'd get so pissed off and that. But so you know, I needed to do something about it and whatnot. So the other thing, when I bought it, see this track? There's this old metal track along the wall right there. And then it stops right there, but it came around the corner here and along there, and there was like a three-piece sliding door that slid along this wall here, so that made this wall useless. You couldn't put anything up against it or, you know, and still get the door open. So I got this door for free off Kijiji, and it came with all the bits and pieces, but he just removed it, so I just installed it in my garage, and I had to do a little customization with the top header there and whatnot, because there just wasn't one. It was like the wooden siding over top of the son of a bitch, and then there's just a 2x4 on its side over there. So I got a couple 2x6s and nailed them together and stabbed them in there. And then the other thing, the whole inside of the garage was this drywall stuff. It was like 2 foot by 8 foot or so sheets of, you know, this drywall stuff. I don't know, the olden days drywall or something, but it was all these 2x4s. You can see we got a a new 2x6, and it's sistered onto a 2x4. Well, the 2x4 is obviously the original one, and it was all you can see the nail holes where it was all nailed the drywall onto it. So we ripped all that down, and there was dead squirrels in the insulation up there and everything, and you know, but it was all wasted space up there. You couldn't get up there, and I wanted to have some more storage. So all this plywood for the floor there is old crappy concrete forms. So then if we go over here, you know, it carries on, all of them, and then we ran, you know, the plywood just ended there, so we had some old MDF stuff to fill in the last hole or whatever. So these beams here are tripled up 2x12s, again concrete forms. My dad's into concrete. If you go back when we were building the garage, you can well, pouring some concrete anyway, but you can see all that. But so they got tripled up 2x12s there and there, and then I just built the 2x4 wall on top of that with an opening where it needed to be. But you can see up in here, I reused the original roof wood, and I just cut it in half and flipped it around so that I could, instead of a cottage style, put a gable on this end. I'll show you more about that when I get up there. But so this was the back of the garage when I bought the house, and then the roof, you can see that, you know, it's sloped down. So all these boards that are in this area here were actually, you know, going across this way, and I cut them in half and switched them around and reused that. So that saved money there, and I got all these 2x4s for a deal and whatnot. You know, I figured when I got the house, oh, this is awesome. I can like pull my truck in there in the winter, but I couldn't shut the door and have my truck in here. I had an old 77 Chevy C10 Scottsdale. Oh, beautiful truck. Maybe I'll put I just found a bunch of pictures of it in the garage when I was building it today, so that's why this came about. But so anyways, you can see the walls are 2x6s. That's 3/4 inch tongue and groove flooring plywood on the walls for sheeting. I got all that for, I believe it was $400. Yeah, $400 for I don't know how many 2x6s, and I still have 2x6s, and I still have sheets of plywood from that. All these 2x8s. There was a building in St. Thomas called Elgin Handles, and they built shovel handles and broom handles and all kinds of stuff. Well, it was there for years and years and years and years. Well, they tore it down and salvaged all these 2x8s out of them. So I probably got 150 2x8s for $200. And then you can see the ceiling. You can see some of the lettering. I tried to, when I found one, when I was putting it on there, tried to, you know, get that facing down so you could see it from you know, inside the garage, just for fancy pants purposes. But that is all free. It was gigantic, like somewhere 12 by 8 foot friggin' pallets for machines for factory. So we seen them driving down the 907, hammer down big time, and we went around, we asked in the office, and they says, oh yeah, we're just gonna crush them all up and smash them in the dumpster, so if you guys want them, get them out of here. So we collected all this stuff, and I still have crap loads of that wood too, for freak's sakes. So, and then this whole back wall is all 2x8s, just, you know, 2x8s nailed on, or screwed onto the posts. So the posts are tripled up 2x8s. So we got, you know, 3 posts along the back there, and then 1 post either side of the door. That one just goes up to the beam there, and then we put a 1 2x8 there, framed in the door. The door fit perfectly. Had to take the old plasma cutter and just cut the one edge of the door off all the way down so that we could wedge it in there, and it wrapped around the tripled up 2x8 beam, or post, sorry, up there and whatnot. Say this wall, for example, right? We got sono tubes where the posts are on, because this part of the garage is a concrete wall 4 foot in the ground all the way around. Like, you know, the wall did go across here too. You can see, you know, the concrete in this corner here. Well, the concrete wall came right across. I'll show you. You know, we cut it with the saw there and whatnot, and then, but like I said, the floor had sunk big time down this back, and they put a drain and stuff in it. But you can see there's like big bar and stuff in the concrete and everything. So the most expensive part of the garage was the floor. I think it was $800 for this floor, and that's just materials, right? My dad's a concrete guy, so he finished it all for me. And this one was in the middle of winter, so it was a little bit more expensive, but I think it was still only, you know, $1,000-$1,200 or something for this floor here. But anyways, this wall, they're on sono tubes, all like, so well, and under the door too, I dug out a trench all the way along there and filled it full of concrete 4 foot deep, so that you know, the door isn't going to heave, you know, because the floor is going to raise and lower with the freezing and thawing, right? So the building itself, the original building, doesn't move because all the walls are 4 foot in the ground. So if I just nailed another building onto it and just built the walls on the floor, this floor is going to move, right? So with the sono tubes filled with concrete, and I mean, that's ridiculous. There's only a little bit of a sono tube, you know, in there. It's the hole is actually about 18 inches in diameter and probably 8 to 10 feet deep, and then just a little piece, you know, a 2 foot piece of sono tube on top once you fill the hole, and then just fill the sono tube full of concrete, and then build your garage on that. So the whole time we built it, there was no floor or anything in here. That's why all around you can see the gaps. We were supposed to get around to caulking that and finishing it off and stuff, but you know, got other stuff I got to do. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's 318 trays. I messaged a guy to get back to me with his address. We'll send him something awesome, but I haven't heard back from him yet. So anyways, so basically I wanted to you know, make shelves on my walls. So I just, you know, you just started off with a little piece and run one across, and then at the bottom you don't want to put the center antler right to the floor, because again, the floor raising lower with the frost and heaving and whatnot. So just a couple kickstands out the antler, you know, and so everything's supported. The walls are just hanging. I mean, the 3/4 inch tongue groove plywood just screwed onto the post by itself ain't going anywhere. But you know, the windiest of days, this building doesn't budge you know, an inch. It's just ridiculous. But you know, and then just while I was building it, I put these triangle antlers in the corners in some spots, and just left them there for the sake of friggin' leaving them there. But so anyways, I was getting back to what I paid for all this wood. So the ceiling was free. The ceiling was free. All the 2x8s were $200. All the 2x6s and plywood were $400. So I answered another ad in Kijiji. A guy was looking for some wood, so I told him what wood I had. So he bought a whole bunch of the 2x8s, a whole bunch of the 2x6s off me, and some of my 2x4s for 500 bucks. So I had 600 bucks into this wood, and I sold some of it for 500. So I got $100 into all this friggin' wood. Plus I still got stacks and stacks of it. I probably got 8 sheets of this plywood left still. Me and Breathing Antler Mike went on this wicked awesome scrap run. I sold a welder this one time. It was a gigantic Lincoln welder the size of a fridge. And I sold it, so I had the enclosed trailer with us, and on the way to drop it off, we noticed there was all this scrap metal on the side of the road. Everybody was like, super sweet scrap metal day, garbage day or something. So we dropped off the welder, and we come back and we picked up all this welder. I think the video's called One Man's Trizash or something like that. But we found these little bracket things in there, and I'd mentioned to Breathing Antler Mike one day. He says, "Oh, that'd be cool if we had a shelf up here." And I come out one day, and was a bling bling. There was a damn shelf here. Look at that. Oh, scrap metal and everything.
Are we telling stories, my friend?
Oh, sure.
It just so happens that I recall a story.
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, it was a day kind of like today. You know, the sun was shining. It was cold out, and Breathing Antler Mike's first day in St. Thomas.
Oh, we're not telling this story, are we?
Oh, so Breathing Antler Mike and Pug One wake up, they come outside, they don't got no room to put these walls up over here, and Pug One just loses it, grabs this big crowbar, and he just starts smashing the fence to get it out of our way, all the boards off, you know, leaving the main guy there in case Buddy wanted to fix his fence again. And all of a sudden here's this jerk coming out the backyard just yelling and carrying on, "That better not be my fence, you sons of bitches." And the next thing you know, we're...
Yeah.
And who shows up? You'll never guess who showed up.
What, for Pug One?
Yeah, to have a word with Pug One.
No, who?
Oh, it was the St. Thomas Police.
The fuzz department of the law.
Yeah, Bam's first day in St. Thomas, and he gets to meet the police. The moral of the story is, the cops came, there was nothing they could do because it's a dispute between two neighbors, and basically, the fence was a piece of crap and it had to go.
Yeah, I'll get some footage of the fence and what we did to it, but yeah, thanks for story time with Bam. Thank you, Bam. So here's the fence we were smashing down. You can see the boards end right there. And we just had to smash down all the boards off the one side of the fence. He's got them all stacked up over there now and stuff. But yeah, so that's why the fuzz was here Mike's first day. Son of a bitch. Apologize.